Hi, I'm back. I'm procrastinating. I should be doing something else. So I'm going to spend a minute and we're going to go over the bud stages, the phenology thing. So first of all, I'm going to now open an existing season. Let's hope this all works right the first time. There it is, my MaryBlyt file. I open it. There we go. And we have phenology right up here. We have phenology. And I want to talk about that, and I'm going to go to page 32 in our manual. We talk about the phenology. Now, they mentioned that dormant and silvertip don't affect the program. I strongly recommend that you are doing them because one, it kind of pokes you to be doing surveillance in your orchard. You should be looking at your trees. And also, over time, a couple years, it's going to give you an idea of how the weather, the cultivar, whatever's going on, how your trees wake up, if you have a record of it. So this is a really good place for you to be keeping a record of it. Also, when you say to someone, boy, we had a really lousy spring 4 years ago, you're going to have the weather data for that. So you can show how it affected your trees and the like. I recommend you do it. Now, green tip, they say when 50% of the buds show green tissue. Half of them. If you're like me, you've got many cultivars. Remember, I would say when the first one gets the green tip. Just err on the side of caution here. Now, then there's the first bloom. First flower opens in the orchard. Enter B or BL for bloom. It must always be the letter B. It shows you that right here. And oh, I should get my face out of the way. I'm sorry. Go here and drag it out of the way. I'm sorry. There. Now we have the whole screen. All right, so you're going to use the letter B. And then petal fall is when they're dropping. It's when the last one drops. Okay, so the petals have closed and you can see that you have fruit set. Okay, now speaking to what these things look like, if you haven't seen this, I put a link in it in the previous video. This is also very useful. Here's green tip. Here's silver tip. It is distinctly silver. You're starting to get what I call the pussy willow effect. It's getting fuzzy. So there's your silver tip. Green tip, you're starting to see the swell breaking open, and you're starting to see those new leaves coming out. I wouldn't wait to half-inch green. I would talk green tip. The reason I say that is because that soft, immature leaf is is vulnerable to bacterial infection. Right there, when that sheath comes off, you've got that first open wound. It does not have a formed, hardened cuticle. So it can get infected right there on those leaves. So I wouldn't wait till then. Then they're talking about during first bloom, because the stage you've got here is when that's open and the flower is completely open with the stamen and the pistils and all that good stuff showing, those go straight into the plant. So bacteria can be carried in either by a pollinator, by wind, by rain. It gets on the pollen, and then the pollinator shoves it down into the ovary, infected. So what is an important thing to do is that an antibiotic like streptomycin is really only good during bloom. Okay, that's when you want to use it. Everywhere else, you're talking about preventing a contact infection, but when you're talking about something getting into it, that's when you want to have the streptomycin because you don't want to overuse it. And then petal drop is, of course, well, there's no more petals. They've gone away. Going back to the page in the book, so you would use, you can put other things in there. I recommend you do it. Keep track of it. So TC for tight cluster, pink. The big thing is the first letter B is going to mean bloom. And if you want to expand on that, then make some recommendations, but you'll see they always have the first letter B. All right, so I hope this clarifies a wee on phenology. All right, I'm going to do another one about what those other columns in the results mean. This one's about phenology. I hope this helps. Y'all have a good evening.